and rewind that 2, 3, 4 times, I bet they get it. You know what I mean? To me, that's a benevolent act. And it doesn't have to be hard. You're in my front row, I give you the iPad. I say, hit record when I start, hit stop when I stop. Thank you, extra credit. Cool. And don't do anything fancy, I'm just going to try to stay where you can see me. And that girl in chemo who's going to miss 3 weeks of school didn't miss any of my lessons. And that kid who didn't get it can rewind me. You know what I mean? How hard is that? Don't wait till you're good at this. You won't do it. If you waited till you have the money to have kids, how many would you have? It's a calling. So I'm tired of us getting summed up. So let's tell our side. How many of you know stories of transformation when a kid just changed? Everything in their life changed. And you saw the whole thing. How many of you got goosebumps right now because you know those stories? Raise your hand. Let's tell those stories. And you're going to think, well, that's bragging. You're not bragging on you. You're protecting your ability to serve children. Do it, please. Start by just looking at your phone, hit record, and talk to the darn thing. You're not talking to a phone. You're talking to everyone that will ever watch that video. You're talking to the future. You're talking to your great-great-grandkids who will know who you were. We're the first generation that can send ourselves into the future and let our great-great-grandkids go, oh my God, great-great-granddad was funny. It's not just a picture, a daguerreotype, tintype. We can talk. Your kids are doing it, whether we're talking about this or not. They're doing it. Wonder what they're saying. Raise your hand if you made a mistake in puberty. I love Michigan because you raise your hand. You play money. Did you laugh every year? Yeah. Was it $300? What is that? So guess what my son... Where's the history teachers in the room? History teachers in the room. My son, I blame you. My son's at Kansas University becoming, guess what? A history teacher. And here's why. One of you got a hold of him. He was going to be an attorney, okay? My retirement was figured out. He goes into a class like yours, and you hooked him, dang it, on the Peloponnesian War. He comes home telling me every word of your lecture. And I knew it. I said, oh, gosh. He's joining the family business. Poverty. I said, Ben, marry a rich girl. He's dating a girl who's going to be a social worker. It's a calling. You know, it's a calling. And we know that. I want you to tell your story. My challenge to you this year is to tell your story. I don't care if you blog. Look, if you ask your kids to reflect, why aren't you doing it? Reflect, but do it in public so people can know. So we can demystify this thing. You know what I mean? There's a book called Don't Think of an Elephant. It's a political book, and it's about the concept of framing. You frame things by what you call them, and you can make them unassailable with a good frame. For instance, no child left behind. See, that's a great frame. Terrible reality, but a great frame. I thought it was going to mean we went out and got them all. I didn't know it was going to mean no child left untested. I thought we were going to go care about all of them and get them engaged, you know what I mean? Get them all. I mean, I'm an idealist. That's what I wanted it to be. But look at the name. It's hard to attack. How can you attack No Child Left Behind? How can you attack the Patriot Act? Just by attacking it, you're unpatriotic. See how the frame works? What are you calling your programs? Every Kid Wins? Good name. You against that? What do you hate, kids or winning? What is wrong with you? We can do some of this too. I know we're busy teaching. We got to take the time to frame what we're doing for the community. Let them know why we do what we do. Because you can do the right thing and die the whole time. You know what I mean? Get spears in your back while you're doing good work. You know? So we got to talk. So I'm pushing you for that, okay? I want you to create lessons. I created a lesson on how to change a tire on a truck. This is a simple, I had my son hold the phone. I said, Ben, let me show you how to change a tire on that GMC. He said, Dad, I'm not interested. I said, what? I'm not interested. I said, then you'll be standing next to the highway with your girlfriend waiting for a man to arrive. On that toolbox in the middle here, it will take you to a giant directory of free tools you can use tomorrow in your classroom, broken into categories for all kinds of areas. I asked 10,000 educators what their favorite free tools were, and I put the best of them on this one page. And I use this for staff development. I'll send teachers there and I'll just shut up for the day and let you go look. I trust you to know what you need. I'm not going to stand there and tell you what you need. I call it self-directed staff development. I'll let you go and learn. I'll let you go on safari and learn. I trust you. See, I like it when teachers become the leaders, because then they start thinking about letting kids be the leaders. And we got to do that. We got to give them that responsibility and that role. Anyway, Honeycutt.org is a place you can go back to, and we'll go over that some this afternoon. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my own personal story. This is me in 1966. Yes, I'm that old. That kicked my butt with love, you know? Some of you got some gray to hair. You've done this. You held kids accountable, and I bet you've gotten phone calls from 30-year-olds thanking you for being tough. You ever get that phone call? I get this phone call. It sounds like this. Hey, Mr. Honeycutt, look, I just want to say, I was a jerk in your class, man. I'm sorry about that. I'm still in prison, but when I get out... Call me when you're out, man. You ever treat the toughest kid in your class like they're the only one you trust? See, I believe you can reset a kid. You can reset a kid. You can reframe a kid. You can turn their life in one conversation. Because it happened to me. I know it can happen to other people. So I refuse to see the person they're projecting. I refuse to buy the veneer they're using to protect themselves. Because they've been pushed out. They've been marginalized. They're not part of popular culture. They're on the fringe. By the way, these people become Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Edison and Einstein. We all think they become losers, not necessarily, not unless they think they are. Some of your best inventors are those people. I love that. I love telling at-risk kids that. Their eyes get big, and I say, now we gotta work. Because this is not a lottery ticket, my friend. See, poor people think like this. If God loves us, we'll win the lottery. That's how poor people think. I know. I was one. We get money, we spend it. Immediately. We don't have financial literacy. You want to help kids? Teach them that. Teach them how a checkbook works. Man, I used to write checks until my checks run out. You know what I mean? Once I started learning how money worked, my whole life changed. Two things. Nutrition literacy, financial literacy. Poverty is tough on kids, man. See, I'm 46 and my teeth are all falling out. You know why? Bad nutrition. I can't fix it. And diabetes. See, if I make it to 50, I'll be the first Honeycutt man in memory that ever did. I want to meet my grandkids. I got to break the cycle in every way. You know what I mean? You want to help kids pass graduation? Teach them how money works. I know it seems boring. It matters. If they want to get out of poverty, it matters. You know what I mean? I hang out with the crazy ones, you know? So if you accidentally admit you're human in front of your kids, good. That's what they see. They want to see that you struggle too. If you're not comfortable with technology, fine. That's okay. You know, role model that. Humans keep learning. That's what we do now. We don't get a degree and work 30 years and get a gold watch in retirement anymore. That's over. For them too. They got to learn to love to learn. Constantly. We got to role model that. And it ain't easy, man. I get tired. I get overwhelmed too. I get exhausted. You ever have a website you like and they move a button slightly and it bothers you? Why did they move it? Why? Why is it there now? Stuff bothers me, man. It doesn't even have to be a big deal. It messes with my comfort zone. Why isn't it like it always was? My second biggest fear in the world, tornadoes. It's hard to live in a trailer in tornado season. It's hard to live in a dwelling that's third less safe to a ditch or low-lying area. My biggest fear was Dad. There he is right there. That's not my dad. That's how I thought about it, man. Second grade, my appointed family job was to hide his guns when he came home drunk. Then he knew I knew where they were. And that interrogation went on late. I got to learn with you tomorrow. Where's my mind going to be? I'm emotionally compromised. What extra thing will you do to get me? Know what I mean? And I had teachers that did. I had teachers that could, for 1 hour, suspend everything and make me feel like something. How do you pay that back? How do you do that? You ever try to catch a kid being good, but they haven't done anything good yet? Hey, man, way to not burst into flames. Nicely done. That was so apropos right there, wasn't it? Not burst into flames. I had teachers do that too. When I thought back, I realized when they proclaimed me brilliant, I wasn't yet. They did it until I was. That's something kind of amazing. You know what I mean? Kind of magical. No one in my house was doing this. These are the angels of my troubled childhood. That's Mary Lou Burgoon. 300 pounds, sideburns thicker than my father's. Is she She hugged me. She put her arm around me at recess. The most dangerous place to be in school is alone. She gave me a place to be. I stood there in the shadow of her ample bosom. Out of the rain. It's called a slow burn two-parter. Even if I might have lice. You think I forgot that? I didn't forget that. When I graduated college, I found these people. I seeked them all out like the Terminator, because I owed them, and I know I did. I found Mary Lou retired, sitting on her front porch on living room furniture, because that's how we roll in Ottawa, Kansas. I pulled up to her, and I walked up. She must have thought I was going to kill her, or someone's like, you people have been teaching for a while. You ever had the kids meet you in a store with their kids, and they still call you Mr. or Mrs.? Yeah. They still act that way? There's a reverence that comes with respect, you know? I walked up and said, Mary Lou Burgoon? She said, who's asking? Kevin Honeycutt. Who? It hurt a little. Because I thought it meant something to both of us in '78. Hawthorne Elementary, 1978. You saved my life. You're the only person that was nice to me. She said, ah, shut up, that's just my job. Just my job. She saved a lot of kids. This is Dorothy Anderson. She sent me these notes every day. This is not technology, this is Oriental trading. I got mail every day. I'm the only 5th grader that did. So I knew I must be special. And they smell like her. And she smelled good. She said all kinds, she predicted amazing things about me. She fed me under the table with these. You know what I mean? If she'd asked the wrong question, I'd have been in a foster home again. So she didn't. She fed me these. I never lost these. I laminated these. We moved everywhere. We lost everything, but I did not lose these. This was all I had. My dad would come home 2 in the morning, cussing at me, telling me I'm a loser, I'm never going to be anything. I'd go to my room and get out the shoebox with these. She believed. And I believed her. So when I went to college in the town where she lived. She saw me in the newspaper, incoming freshman class. And I was in Safeway getting my deodorant and my razors. She saw me in the aisle. She said, Kevin Honeycutt. I said, Dorothy Anderson. You going to college, son? I said, yeah. She said, you eat at my house. You eat out of my fridge. You are my son. I'm so proud of you. How do you think that? Secretary. She wasn't even a teacher. She died about 9 years ago, and I love this woman forever. You are that to someone. You young teachers don't know yet, because they got to grow up a little bit and reflect. And she'll find out. You'll find out. This isn't for nothing. None of it is. You know what I mean? These teachers had me a year. These people influenced me a year, maybe 2 weeks, and it still worked. So what can you do when you have them every day? What will you do, you know? When? That's what I want to push, man. Mr. Austin, my 5th grade teacher, man, he got this thing. You ever seen this computer? First classroom computer, I think. First classroom computer. It did math. It was a calculator with feet. These things are going for about $800 these days. Inside this was the first Intel chip. Chip collectors want that chip. They'll pay for this thing. You can buy 2 iPads if you find one of these. Put it on eBay. Mr. Austin got this thing. It was the most expensive device in the building, and he gave it to me. Me. I'm flunking math. Why me? He said, Honeycutt, come here. Can you help me? That's how the best ones always got it. Can you help me? I said, what do you need? He said, I need you to test the digital. Now, I can't use this until I know it's accurate. This devious man tricked me into doing math voluntarily for 2 weeks. I was doing a study. He let me take it home. Does he not know Dad will pawn this for smokes? But he didn't because he never saw it, because I kept it under the bed because I had Mr. Austin's back because he trusted me. I brought him my final conclusion report. Mr. Austin, the Digitor is 98% accurate. I was 2% wrong. I never forgot what he did. I believe that empowerment comes from being trusted to attack learning according to your own strengths. Mrs. Haas did this for me in 1980, new officer. I'm flunking every class. Guys, I'm not stupid. I'm compromised, okay? I read, but I don't see pictures. It takes everything my brain can do just to translate language into words. I don't get to see pictures. Reading hurts for me. Writing hurts for me. But I'm a good talker. Ever know a kid who's a terrible writer and a great talker? Do you know that talking is writing with your mouth? Could we let them use speech to text? Would we be okay with that? Because people are going to call it cheating. Well, that's just cheating is what that is. That's some cheating. Is a wheelchair ramp cheating? We got Dragon Dictation for free on the iPad now. I can just hand it to you and say, tell that story from yesterday. Just say it to the iPad. We'll spell check when you're done. Really? Yeah. You're a great talker. I'll explain to you how the mechanics of English work once you've done the mechanics of English. You know? What else can we do? In my other sessions, I want to get out some more of this, but I want to close this way. I want to have a little traditional mini concert. And I want to bring my friend Michael up here. Michael, can you join me up here for a minute? That's my boy back up there. Give him a round of applause. Michael and me hang out. You know, some of you, I come to Michigan, and so you guys call me up, and I end up going to dinner with people and having great conversations. How many times have you played drums on the iPad in front of an audience?
At least 10, I would say.
All right. Give me a beat of some kind. Just get a beat going there, okay? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah! Traditional mini concert. The band, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tweetwood Mac. Do a blues riff and E. Watch me through the changes, and we'll try to keep up. Here we go. Give it up for our man. I want to take it up a notch. I want you to notice I got this $135 amplifier. It takes 8 batteries. I can take it out in the middle of the football field. I plug all the kids in. I buy splitters from Radio Shack. Every kid's in the band. I throw them all a cable. I let them rehearse and then they get to join the band. I'm going to do a little doobie for this. Jump in when you feel it. Okay, since you're good, I don't get him every day. I gotta have some fun with this. This will be the closer, and we'll finish on this one, okay? I never get to do this one. I want you to lead me in with bum, 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 and just go from there. $40 at Bed Bath & Beyond for some reason. Pop in your iPad, it turns the fretboard into a MIDI interface. So if you use GarageBand, this can be a cello, a violin, drums, piano, bass, every instrument. So recently I showed this to a man in North Carolina who had lost an arm in an auto accident. He was a concert cellist. He hadn't played in 10 years. He got on this and played without a bow and cried the whole time. $29 worth playing with? They're delicious, isn't it? Let our kids be rock stars, right? Let them rock this new stuff. Guys, I'm honored that you spent heartbeats listening to me. Thanks so much. And A. Keep going now. Work together. Talk to each other. Can I borrow one of you? Can you borrow you? I just wish we had more orchestra. Wouldn't it be nice if we had strings? Oh, we do. Right in the same app, okay? So same exact setup here. But we're going to put an orchestra in here. Let them do their thing. GarageBand, $4.99, and what you can do with it is kind of amazing. So let's go here and scroll to Symphony or Smart Strings. Smart Strings. And I'm going to get out of Cinematic and go to Romantic. It sounds better. Romantic. And give you the same progression, E, E, and make sure we're in 110 beats per minute. We are. Cool. Now, you're just going to touch E. Go ahead and touch E. Okay, everybody stop. Now, when I say, I'm going to say the letter. When I say the letter, you're all going to touch that letter. Ready? And E. Don't touch the letter until I say the letter. Ready? And B. Float over the next one. C sharp minor. Float over it. Ready? A. You think we could perform one song in a coffee shop and not embarrass ourselves? Me too. And this is just the first time they ever tried it. Right? So now we know they can do this. What can we put with it? What would the lyrics look like? What if they wrote their own song? It was curriculum-based lyrics. They had to have a certain amount of key words in there before you, the producer at Sony, will let the song be recorded. And now you got them, right?